Today we are talking about how to know whether you are going to be a successful author. Because this is like thanks for sharing, Ron. This is the question that looms in the back of our mind. Miguel, you got a new handle. I haven't followed you on Twitter yet. I haven't even been on Twitter in like several days. I've been kind of crazy, but a little bit busy. I got to get back in my social media groove. Thank you, Ron, for sharing. This is the question that looms in the back of our minds. Is this all going to be worthwhile later? So quick intro. I am Morgan Gist McDonald. I am a writing coach, editor, and author. Thanks, Miguel, for sharing. I run my business and my blog out of paperravenbooks.com, and I take scope notes for you. So if you ever want to know if you want to have the notes for later, paperravenbooks.com/periscope is where the notes and the replays and soon the transcripts will all be. So you can always stay caught up. Yes. Okay. So let's get into it, guys. Let's get into it. How do you know if you're going to be a successful writer? You don't. That's terrible, isn't it? You don't know. There's no magic ball. There's no checklist. What I want to really drive home for you today is that there's only commitment. Because in the beginning, no one else is going to believe in you. No one else is going to look at, when you say, hey, I'm a writer or I'm an author, no one's going to say, wow, I bet you're going to be rich and famous. Has anyone ever had that happen to them? Have you ever told anyone at a dinner party, I'm a writer, and they're like, wow, you're going to make so much money doing that? No one has ever said that. Because there's like a cultural skepticism where you have this like idea of like the starving artist and the person who like bartends, mostly pity, who waits tables by day, bartends at night, and writes in the middle, right? I mean, this is this is the cultural imagination of what it means to be a writer. And this is going to weigh heavily on your mind unless you can make a commitment to yourself to be okay with that. So people aren't doing that intentionally. They're really just parroting this general cultural skepticism. But it's going to feel really heavy and discouraging to you until you wrap your mind around the fact that that's always going to be there. Unless you hit J.K. Rowling status, when you say I'm an author, people are going to say, yeah, good for you. If you're lucky, that's what they're going to say. So the commitment piece is that before you are a successful writer, the only one who's going to believe in your potential is you. So you have got to get on board with yourself. You have to believe in yourself and your potential in order to justify getting up at 4:30 in the morning to write. You have to believe in your own potential and, your own success in order to justify hiring an editor for a draft that you finished, or in order to justify putting it up on Amazon, to market, to call the local bookstore and ask for a table to sign books. You have to believe. Keisha, yes, 4:30 a.m. I recommend. That's what I do. You have to believe in yourself first before you have the guts, thanks Ron, before you have the guts to go out and do the things that will make you successful. You have to first believe in yourself that it is possible. So how do you do that? Thanks for the hearts, guys. How do you do that? I recommend that you have even just a few minutes. Actually, the longer the better. At least 5 minutes, but come on. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Tracy is just about to finish her book. I'm so excited for you. I can't believe it. It's almost here. Okay. I'm an editor and a writing coach, and like it's almost more exciting for me to help a client finish a book than for me to finish my own book. Maybe. Yes, Ron says, go Tracy. We're all very excited. I will let you guys know as soon as her book is out too. So, sorry, I lost my train. At least 5 minutes, but like if you can sit down and like have a glass of wine with yourself and have a serious check-in, envision the reality that it will look like when you are a successful author. What does that mean to you? And get really specific here. When you say the word successful author, what are you thinking? Are you thinking that it can support you fully, or 2 glasses, or a shot of tequila? Also my preference. Is this something that you want to support you fully? What kind of lifestyle are you looking at? What do you hope and dream and wish that this life could, or that this author life could make possible for you? Is it starting a new business? Is it transforming your business in some way? Is it starting a movement? Is it your $9 wine habit? That's what Ron wants. He wants his book to support his $9 bottle of wine habit. I think that is doable, Ron. So you can be pessimistic or you can be optimistic. But what is the purpose, the underlying purpose behind your writing? What life do you hope becomes possible because of your writing? I got sick of the $5 stuff. You doubled the quality of your wine. That's really impressive. And so really think about, like, flesh it all out in your mind. I like to write it out. You know, what life do I want to make possible through the writing? And also be really realistic with this. This does mean you will be writing every day. If you're going to be a successful author, are you okay with, you know, how many hours? I'm gonna estimate 300 to, no, probably more than that, at least 500 hours a year sitting down typing words. Are you okay with that? Does that sound appealing to you? Because hopefully it makes, you know, the writing itself is enjoyable enough that you want to write multiple hundreds of hours every year, and hopefully it makes way for this life that you want to live. Both happen simultaneously, right? Do you want that, is my question to you. Does the thought of writing multiple hundreds of hours a year and living this life of freedom and flexibility, is that exciting? Is it so exciting that you feel like you're going to fall out of your chair? Like, that for me is like the telltale sign. If I get so excited I'm about to fall over because I can't wait for that reality to happen, including the hundreds of hours of writing, then I'm on the right track. You know, I want to be a successful author. If imagining those hours of writing along with the lifestyle makes me, Ron is falling over, makes me like develop this knot of anxiety and dread, and I don't want that, then I need to like do some serious soul searching here, because something's off. What I'm getting at is that your desire to be a successful author should raise an energy of excitement and pursuit and enthusiasm in you. When you think about successful author, your energy level should raise. Keisha, sounds exciting, but I'm still in my chair. Okay, yeah, you know, you know what I mean. I didn't actually fall in my chair either, but and I don't want to go all like loosey-goosey woo-woo on you here, but like the vibration, and I think vibration in terms of like real physical energy, like your energy should rise when you think of successful author. If when you hear the words successful author, your energy lowers, like in a very real sense, like you become anxious and a little bit depressed and knots in your stomach, there is something deeper going on that you have to address before you can make the leap to believing in yourself and taking the action steps necessary to become a successful author. So I kind of went a little bit like around in this scope. So let me do a little recap, and maybe you can kind of follow my train of thought here. So the question that's usually in the forefront of our mind is, am I going to be a successful author? But I'm telling you that it starts in a different place. So there's no easy yes or no to, am I going to be a successful author? Because first you have to believe in yourself, right? In order to take all those action steps necessary, the writing, the finding an editor, the finding a designer to do your cover, the sending query letters, the whatever action steps you have to take, you have to believe in yourself first, because no one else is going to. But those action steps are the only thing that's going to lead you to success. Okay, so you have to believe in yourself first. I'm telling you, in order to check in with yourself about whether or not you actually believe this is possible, the best sort of exercise, I guess it's an exercise really is what it is to envision your life. When you say the word successful author, what do you envision? Envision the reality of writing hundreds of hours, and envision the reality of what could be. a lifestyle, a business, a movement, whatever it is, if that imagination raises your energy, you're on the right track. Stay in that energy, and that will propel you forward into action steps. If you've got knots of anxiety and like, oh, this is never going to happen, then it's never going to happen. Like, you might as well like pause, put the pause button on, and like revisit what's going on here. Because very likely you are sabotaging yourself, is what's going on. So if you are the one who's not believing that this is possible, no matter how many action steps you take, you're going to continually sabotage yourself at every level. You're going to hit the snooze button at 4:30 in the morning. You're going to pick a crappy editor who's not going to do anything to help your manuscript. You're going to choose a crappy marketing service. Miguel, I'm going to have to catch the replay. Bad connection. Yeah, sorry, Miguel. I saw you hopping in and out, but the replay is up and you know where it is. So if you don't have this foundational belief that like this is possible, you're going to sabotage yourself at every turn. So you need to get real with yourself about whether you, in fact, are your biggest supporter. You have to be your biggest supporter. You have to be your own best coach, which I say that as a writing coach, which is sort of funny. But if you need help sorting this out, it can also be good to talk through it. Okay, so and we've talked about this in other scopes, if there's any way that you can find another writer to talk to, I highly recommend it, because it's in talking through these things that we sort of process and figure out what's going on inside of us. And really and truly, you need other connections, other writers. Tracy says, optimism always wins. We talked about that recently. You need to find other people, at least one other person to talk to who is an optimistic person. If your best friend is a Debbie Downer, you're going to be a Debbie Downer. Ron says, like on Periscope. That's right. So you need to find this level of, or blab, right? You need to find this level of positive energy within yourself, this well of positive energy. And if you just can't find it, you got to find someone else who is also a well of positive energy and try to tap into that somehow. But if you're down on yourself and your best friend is down on herself all the time, there's nowhere to go. But if you are optimistic and your best friend is optimistic, you're going up. That's really the general message that I have. Tracy says, don't pick Debbie Downer beta readers. True statement. Your beta readers are really important. And next week we're going to talk a little bit more about the actual practical steps of like writing a book, sort of step by step, and beta readers are going to be part of that process. But yeah, a really sad follow. Oh, thanks, Ron. A really sad moment in the life of a manuscript is when a beta reader tears it down and then the author gives up. So be careful who you give your manuscript to before it's finished. Because if someone trashes it, then you're like, man, this is terrible. This is never going to work. So you need positive, optimistic beta readers and a writing coach. Just kidding, sort of. Alrighty, guys. That's it for today. I got a big editing project I'm churning through, so that I'm using this as a distraction. But it's a good distraction because you guys are fun. And you bring my energy levels up. You bring my vibration up, so I appreciate it. Thanks all for the hearts. And yeah, we'll see you soon. Follow, and we'll do this again tomorrow.